All right, now that we have our ice creams into our cookie tin, we're gonna move that off to the side. We're coming right over. I have 2 measuring cups and I'm bringing in just our classic white cake mix for this festive and fun little treat. I'm gonna be placing about 1/3 of that cake mix into each one of my measuring cups, just like so. And we are gonna keep the remainder of that 1/3 in our box. I'm coming in and I'm just following the instructions on the back of the box. So I'm gonna go 1 egg into each one. I'm gonna come in with just our vegetable oil and just a touch. This is kind of the fun part. I'm gonna go in with my red food coloring and we're just gonna place a little bit of that red food coloring right into our white cake batter. I'm gonna come in with our classic blue food coloring and we're doing the same thing. And I want a pretty vibrant blue, so I'm gonna go pretty heavy with the blue. And you can always feel free to add more. All right, I'm gonna come in with my whisk. We're just gonna make sure all of those wet and dry ingredients and that food coloring gets mixed in there to make a beautiful kind of red cake. All right, now that we have everything mixed, I have our red and our blue, and then with the last remaining, I have our white cake mix. So we're gonna move that off to the side. I'm gonna bring back in my beautiful little ice cream cones. I'm gonna start with that red cake batter. I'm gonna go right on in with just a touch in each one of our cones to start off our little patriotic little treat. And like I said, just a touch, because we want to make sure that we get a nice little red in each one of our cones. That last little glob. All right, and we're gonna continue to fill these up one by one. All right, now that we have everything beautifully poured from our red, I'm gonna keep the extra. We're gonna move into our blue. I mean, look at the color on that. Super, super gorgeous. We're gonna go in with the same amount so that's an equal batter with our red. Trying not to kind of drag or drip. Wanna try and keep our edges nice and clean. And I'm only filling these ever so slightly because when you bake a cake, it does rise, so we don't want it to overfill our little ice cream cones, and we still have our white. So we'll get the remainder of these ones filled. All right, we have our last little cone. Bloop. Perfect. Make sure we're not dragging. Beautiful. We're gonna move on to our white cake batter. Same thing. This one's a little thicker, but we're just gonna gently go in. Perfect. And that's kind of how much you want it filled, just to where that little lip is. So like I said, our cake will rise. All right, we have our last one. Boop. Just making sure we gently lay that beautiful white cake mix before we place these into our oven for about 10 minutes at 350. All right, while our cupcake cones are chilling, I'm gonna bring out 2 cans of our vanilla frosting and a small little ramekin. I'm gonna take half of that white frosting out of each one of our little cans and just place it into the side of our ramekin. Perfect. And then with that, with the remaining, I'm gonna come in with our classic blue into one, just like so. And then, of course, if you haven't guessed, we're gonna go right into our red into the other one. Beautiful. We're gonna give those each a little stir. So I'm gonna try and get a really pretty, oh, look at that beautiful red. Exactly what we're looking for. All right, I'm gonna be coming in with some original Cool Whip on top of our Ho-Hos. I did let this thaw out, so we're just gonna go in with a big dollop of that delicious Cool Whip right on top of our chocolate little Ho-Ho Ding Dongs. I know everyone has kind of different names for them. I'm just gonna start to spread that Cool Whip on top of our Ding Dongs, just like so, for this super simple, delicious little no-bake treat. Going with a touch more too, just to make sure we have everything beautifully covered. All right, now that we have our Cool Whip evenly distributed. I'm gonna be coming in next. I have these super fun and festive red, white, and blue little Debbie cakes. And I'm just gonna come in with those and gently start to plate them over top of our little ding dongs. I had never seen these little festive ones. I think they're super darling. And I was like, oh, you just need to make a recipe with this. I just have to. And I'm just gently kind of placing them right into that Cool Whip mixture so we can get a beautiful layer of those fun little Debbies. I mean, the colors are hard to beat as is. All right, I'm gonna come back in with that remainder of our Cool Whip. Same thing, just going in with a thin layer right on top, just like so. You could always make your own whip as well. You could do the extra creamy, you could do the sugar-free. There's so many options that you could do if you didn't like Cool Whip. I just think Cool Whip is super convenient, always a crowd pleaser, and it's easy to work with too. It really is. And like I said, just a thin layer. We still wanna kind of see that red, white, and blue kind of peek through, just like so. And to top our beautiful no-bake, I have the extra cherry fruit pie filling. I mean, look at how many cherries those are. Ooh, I'm just going in with my ice cream scooper. We're just gonna go right on top. Oh, I love a good cherry pie filling. One of my favorite pies, besides pecan pie, is a good cherry pie, especially during the summertime. I'm just going in with about half that can of the extra cherry pie filling. Now that we have our cherries on there, I'm gonna come in with a fresh spatula. Just gonna gently start to smooth out our cherry pie filling right on top of our little Debbies, our Cool Whip, and our ding dongs. Ooh, that is looking perfect. All right, that was one sugar cookie log that we just cut up. I'm bringing in my greased muffin tin and I'm taking those sugar cookie bits and placing them right into our greased little muffin pan for this delicious, festive little holiday treat. All right, we're gonna place this into our oven for about 10 minutes at 350. All right, our cookies are out of the oven. And while they are still hot, I'm gonna be taking a shot glass that I just panned, and we're gonna go right in the center of that cookie and just create a small little well, just like so, in each one of our sugar cookies. And it's important to do this while it is hot before they cool so we can get that nice formation, just like so. All right, now that we have those all shot glassed, we're gonna let these cool for about 5-10 minutes. All right, that was one family size of our golden Oreos. I'm coming in with a stick and a half of melted butter. I'm gonna start with about a stick and a half and leave that just in case we need more. I'm gonna come in with some red food dye for this delicious and tasty, easy little festive treat. I'm gonna start with a little because a little of that red dye goes a long way. I have my beautiful little potato masher and we're gonna go to town on our golden Oreos, just like so, to start incorporating our Oreos, our red food dye, and our butter. All right, our beautiful Oreo 4th of July crust is ready. Now that we have that ready, I'm gonna move that off to the side and I'm gonna bring in a large mixing bowl for the second portion of our recipe. I have some Philadelphia cream cheese that we just softened. I'm gonna place 2 blocks into our mixing bowl alongside our vanilla abstract. Just a touch goes a long way. Boop. Perfect. And then with that, I'm gonna come in with some powdered sugar just to sweeten everything up. Depending on how sweet you want, I'm gonna do like a 1/4 cup right into our large mixing bowl. And then with that, I'm gonna come in with some Cool Whip. I'm gonna use this entire large container. All right, and we're just gonna plop that right into our mixing bowl. You could always make your own whip, but I always find that Cool Whip tastes amazing and is super convenient. They have an extra creamy, they have a 0 sugar, they have different sizes. So I love using it. It's a great ingredient to have in the kitchen. We're gonna go right on in with our hand mixer. Start slow and just make sure we get everything beautifully incorporated for this delicious little no-bake recipe. All right, now that we have that beautifully mixed, I'm just gonna place this off to the side for just a moment, because here comes the fun part. I have some dark blue little food dye. I'm gonna go in with a touch of that into our cream cheese and Cool Whip. Start off with a little bit. You can always add more. You can't take away. And then we're gonna go back in with our hand mixer, and we are gonna watch. Woo! I mean, look at how gorgeous that is. This is gonna be a perfect no-bake for 4th of July. Look at the color on that. We're gonna get that all beautifully incorporated. All right, now that we have that beautifully incorporated, make sure we get all of the yumminess off of our beaters. Perfect, take a little, oh, delicious. All right, we're gonna move this off to the side and bring back in our Oreo and red dye. We're just gonna go right in with that gorgeous topping, our beautiful blue cream cheese Cool Whip mixture. I mean, look at the color contrast on that. Woo! It's like almost like a cheesecake filling. It's nice and thick, and that Cool Whip just kind of adds a little bit of fluffiness. Yeah, we're just gonna go right on in with all of that on top of our golden Oreos. Perfect. Now we're just gonna start to spread that out. Just being careful not to rip up our crust. So take your time on this part. I love simple little no bakes, especially during the summer. It is already so hot out. The last thing I want to do is have to spend a ton of time in the kitchen with our oven on. So this is going to be a great little no bake, easy for the kids to help out with too. And you can kind of switch up the colors too, depending on the holidays, but I think that looks pretty darn good if you ask me. Just make sure we get nice and evened out before we pop this into our fridge for about an hour. All right, now that we have those mixed, I'm gonna move them off to the side. I'm gonna bring in my beautiful little piping station. I have our tip in there. I'm just gonna make sure that we get this bag onto our little vase. You can feel free to do like just a little cup, whatever is easiest, just making sure that we have a nice opening. I'm gonna go in first with that red frosting. Ooh, and it has a little bit of white in there. That's exactly what we want. Just gonna go in with that first red one. And then we're gonna come in with our blue frosting. Just try and get some of that in there. Perfect, just try and be gentle, just like so. And then with the remainder of our white frosting, I'm gonna do the exact same thing and go in with that white right on top, just like so. All right, we have our piping bag ready. Just gonna pick that up. Ooh, look at all the tie-dye colors. That is looking perfect. Just gonna make sure that we get all that pushed down into our tip, just like so. I mean, you can already see all of our beautiful colors kind of mending together. We're gonna move our piping station over. I'm bringing in our beautiful little cake cones, and we're gonna go right on top of our cake cones. Ooh, look at the color contrast on that. That is looking gorgeous. We're just gonna go by each one, just like so. Oh my gosh, I mean, perfect. They turned out super, super darling. Just making sure we do a nice thick layer of our icing for our little 4th of July treat. Perfect, you can also do this for a baby shower. It's kind of looking like a gender reveal, but that's all right too. They're abstract, and we love good abstract dessert. I'm just turning our piping bag as we're going on to each one of our little cupcake ice cream cones. I mean, look at the color. Oh, this is the first time I've kind of tried to do that frosting method, and I'm pleasantly surprised how they turned out. I think as we're getting closer to the white too, you can kind of see how gorgeous they are. All right, we have our last one. I mean, look at the red, white, and blue. Super darling, but we are not done yet. I wanna make sure we get that red, white, and blue. So I'm gonna go in with just some little sugar sprinkles and just a touch with these red little sugar ones. So we'll get these all dressed up. I'm gonna come in with, of course, our little blue sugar sprinkles. Just a touch of those. I mean, look at how cute they are. So darling, super festive, easy. The kids are gonna love this. Perfect. All right, I am ready to open one of these up. I mean, look, it even looks like it's a little dripping ice cream cone. Super, super darling, super easy. I'm ready to cut one of these open though. I wanna see that cake. Oh, all right, moment of truth. Oh my gosh, I can see it. Look at how fun that is. So, so cute, super festive, easy, and of course, delicious. And of course, we cannot have anything pie or cherry without some powdered sugar. So I'm just gonna go right over with that powdered sugar, just like so. Perfect. All right, we're gonna place this into our fridge for 1 to 2 hours. Wow, look at how decadent and amazing this cherry pie 4th of July little no-bake came out. I'm gonna go in with my spatula, of course, and I love a good corner piece. I'm gonna try and get every layer with those ho-hos and our 4th of July little Debbie cakes. Ooh, oh my gosh, look at that. Absolutely delicious chocolate on chocolate. We have our red, white, and blue, our cherry pie filling, and our Cool Whip, of course. All right, I'm gonna go right on in. I mean, that is a stacked little no-bake cake. Get a little bit of everything. Don't miss out, don't skimp. Ooh, ooh, okay. Really, really good. And festive. Okay, we pulled these off of our cooling rack. I'm gonna go straight in. I have my ice cream scooper and our strawberry pie filling. We're just gonna go in with a big hefty scoop of that strawberry pie filling right into the center of our sugar cookies. And you can feel free to do any kind of pie filling, of course, but I kind of want to stay on a festive theme. So we'll stick with our strawberry and we'll be coming in with our original Cool Whip. I did let this sit out and cool so that it is perfect consistency. And again, coming in with our ice cream scooper, we're gonna go right down the center into our sugar cookie. Ooh, look at how darling, super cute, easy. You could also make your own whip, of course, but Cool Whip is super convenient, so I love using the Cool Whip. And then, because we are missing our blue element, I'm gonna come in with another ice cream scooper and some blueberry pie filling, going right in with that blueberry to make red, white, and blue sugar cookies. Sugar cookie pies, sugar cookies, so darling, so cute. And then just to tie in with our red, white, and blue, I have some cute little sprinkles. We'll go right over our little white section. Look at how cute those are. I mean, those are hard to beat. Super, super darling. Red, white, and blue. And I'm ready to give these a try too. They're like little cups. I mean, so cute, right? Little pie sugar cookies. Really good. You gotta try it. All right, it's been an hour, so we just pulled this out of the refrigerator, but we are not done yet. Everything is perfectly set, but we are missing just a little extra flair. I found these limited edition Hershey's popping candy. And I mean, look at how fun and gorgeous those are. Such a great little addition. So I'm just gonna go right on in and just kind of break some of those up and just kind of crush them on top. Oh, you can hear the like little pops from the candies too. How fun. Just to add a little bit of red, white, and blue flair. Oh, I mean, doesn't that look just delicious? I started with one, but we'll probably do a second one just to make sure that everyone, oh, you hear the snap? Oh, that one wasn't very good, but you can hear like the popping candy in there. It's crazy. Super fun. I just found this at my local grocery store. We're just going right on in. Just crushing those up just to add a little bit of texture, a little bit of flair. Perfect. All right, now that we have that all on there, I'm just gonna add some red, white, and blue sprinkles right on top, just like so. Oh, perfect. I have my spatula. We're ready to give this a try. I wanna make sure we get that crust, our Oreos. Oh, moment of truth. Let's hope we can get the red, white, and blue that we are looking for. Ooh, look at how pretty. Our red, white, and blue, perfect for 4th of July. Let's give this a taste. Oh, I am excited. I wanna make sure we get some of that crust because golden Oreos, am I right? Enjoy. Like a festive cheesecake. Really good, we gotta try it.